Hello everyone, welcome to our first video that we post after our Christmas break. So I just want to go over a few questions with you very quickly. As you know, you only have 4 questions a day for homework. You only have page 5, and you can find this page in your math packet that we gave you yesterday. So I'm just going to go over each question since there's 4 questions only, and I might go into detail into one. Haven't decided yet. So here we have question 1. It says, use the number below to find what is the sum of 5 plus -6 plus 3. So one thing that I want you to remember, you have 3 terms, so you have 3 numbers. So do 2 numbers at a time, sorry. So here you have 5 plus -6. And something super awesome about this problem is that they already gave you the number line composed. So literally it starts from 0, it goes to 5. And then if you notice, they're adding -6, so then they come back. And then they add 3, so they go back. And what is the sum? So they're already showing you what the sum is. If you don't understand the number line, then you can do it yourself and say, okay, but you have different signs. So 5 plus -6, you can either do your chips. So for example, I would add first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive chips. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative chips. And of course, then I would make my 0 pairs, and I have 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and look at that. That's what you end up with. So whatever the number you end up with, just don't forget to, whatever you get here, to add 3 to it. And that will give you your answer for that one. So just be very careful with finding the sum. You can look at page 1 of your notes in order for you to remember how to add when you're adding same sign or different signs. If you look at number 2, it says, if the outside temperature fell from 15 degrees to 6 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically what it's saying is that temperature was initially 15 degrees, and then it went all the way down to -6. By how many degrees did the temperature change? So there's a very important keyword here. The keyword here is, you're probably saying it in your mind already, the keyword here is change. When you're asking for change, it's operation of subtraction. You can also draw a nice number line, which I'm going to draw over here. And tell yourself, okay, well, 0, meaning that temperature is at 0. And it was at 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what the problem is saying. So initially, you were right here. This is at 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it says it fell all the way down to -6. So that doesn't mean it fell down 6 degrees and you went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not what that means. It's saying that from 15, it went all the way down to -6. So for you to find the change, they're basically asking you to tell it, okay, well, how did it go from here to here? What happened? It fell by how many degrees? Okay, what was the change there? That's what this is asking you for. So please be very careful when you solve this problem. Remember that change is a keyword for subtraction. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, and if you have any questions, make sure you tell me. So let's go number 3. So same thing, determine -4, parentheses -2, plus 5. Something very important you need to remember, that parentheses is another way to annotate for multiplication. So, and again, just like number 1, you have 3 terms. So you remember to do 2 at a time. You're multiplying. And some of you today were having a difficult time with this because I was noticing that you guys were trying to add or subtract, but it's multiplication, guys. Just make sure you look at the notations. I'm going to do this here. So it's basically saying -4 times -2. You're multiplying a negative times a negative. So your tic-tac-toe, remember that tic-tac-toe is only for multiplication and division. So only for multiplication and division. So remember that. Okay, now after you do that, make sure you add 5 and look at that. Okay, in order for you to, if you need more reference for this problem, please make sure you look at page 1, and page 2 also has some notes. So page 1 and page 2. Okay, this is for problem number 3. Now let's take a look at problem number 4. It says, it takes most oceans about 6 hours to go from high tide to low tide. So when it says high tide to low tide, meaning that the waves are a little higher and then it goes down a little lower. So it takes them 6 hours to go from a really high tide to a low tide. Suppose that the water level decreases at a rate of 3 feet per hour during this time. So then the ocean takes 6 hours to go from high to low. So basically, if I'm going from high, I spelled that completely wrong. Let's try it again. From high all the way down to low, it's telling me here that it takes them a whole 6 hours to do that. And then it says, let's assume that it takes it every hour, they decrease 3 feet, right? So then again, let's say that we had this. So this is, we start off here. This is 1 hour. Let me draw like a little number line, and this is 2 hours. Here I go again with my pictures, right? 3 hours, 4 hours, and then 5 hours. I'm even gonna need to extend this a little more, so I'm gonna erase this so I can go from high to low. About that's fine. And then another one is 6 hours. Okay, so went from high all the way down to low. And it says that it takes 3 feet per hour during this time. So that means that in this 1 hour here, this was, it went down 3 feet. This went down another 3 feet, another 3 feet, another 3 feet, and then another 3 feet. So then it's asking you, how much does the water level change during the time? And I'm going to leave you with that thought. Now that you know that each hour is 3 feet, I want you to tell me, well, how much is the total change? By how much did it drop by? And if you see this, obviously it's decreasing, right? The water level keeps going down. So I want you to think about, is it going to be positive or is it going to be negative? This is a very important keyword that you're going to see, so it can tell you whether positive or negative. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. Tomorrow we will go ahead and check first thing before we begin our lesson. And that is our video for today. I hope that you found it helpful. If you need more reference, page 1 and page 2 is full with the notes that we've been doing these past 2 days. And you can go ahead and practice using that. Okay, so have a great day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.